We entered through these doors into the courtyard of the synagogue. On the left is where you would currently buy your tickets, and on the upper floors is where we want to house the new war center. Right across from the new museum is the entrance to the synagogue built more than 288 years ago. It is almost the same as it was back then in 1732, and descendants of the original families still worship here. Let's continue. There across the courtyard is currently the gift shop that doubles as a multifunctional space for the congregation. And if we continue, we will enter the courtyard of the Jewish Cultural Historical Museum, which opened its doors 50 years ago. Here you can see the current museum on your right, and on the left, the building that would house the World War II exhibitions. If you turn around, you can see the two arches. That's where the new entrance to the exhibitions will be. Both steps and an elevator are planned. Also part of the plan is to connect the two buildings of the museum via a flybridge to the new buildings in our center, so that they will form one large complex that is accessible from different sides. Since we still have to break through walls to connect the buildings, we are going to use what will later become the emergency exit to access the space for the new museum. The large room on this floor will be dedicated to a permanent exhibition about George Maduro, a Curaçao-born Jewish young man who fought heroically in the military and later in the resistance against Nazi expansion in Europe. He gave his life for our freedom. As you can note, the building is in pretty good shape. The floors need to be polished, the walls need to be painted, and we need to replace the electric, the plumbing, and the cooling. The windows will continue to bathe the exhibition in the middle of this room with beautiful natural light. Beyond that door in front of us is a large room into which the steps and the elevator will open. That is where we will have exhibitions about Curaçao during the Second World War, highlighting our efforts in support of the Allied forces. This hallway will also be used to tell local war stories. We now continue up the stairs to the next floor, where we plan to host an Anne Frank exhibit in the main room. Envision a permanent Anne Frank and World War II exhibition along the outer walls, perhaps even blocking the windows to create a different ambiance. In the middle, there will be an exhibit called Let Me Be Myself. It has been designed especially for young adults and deals with issues such as prejudice, racism, and xenophobia. The attic to the right will be used for storage. And here we reach a great space, which by the way is similar to what is beyond the closed door downstairs. In this area, we plan to create a film room and multifunctional space to support the educational programs we plan to offer. Currently, there is a kitchen here, but that will be moved somewhere else. In its place, there will be an elevator providing wheelchair access to all floors of the new building. From these windows, you can see where we are, in the middle of historic Willemstad, with a synagogue on your right and a museum right across the courtyard, which is far down below. This new project is a collaboration between the Mikveh Israel Emanuel Synagogue, the Jewish Cultural Historical Museum, Stichting de Cultuurkameleon, and Anne Frank House.